Hi Karan, welcome to Galatta Plus. We're doing a very quick segment of 10 questions, which is, I think, a format that you started, and now I've kind of appropriated it.
It's a version of rapid fire.
You don't have to be rapid.
Okay, I can take my time.
You can take your time.
All right, okay, good.
Yeah. Which is the favorite of the films that you've made?
Air Dil Hai Mushkil.
Yeah. Which is the film that you'd like to disown?
I don't want to disown, but I want to remake Kabhi Alvida Na Kehna.
It's a good film.
I feel like I made some mistakes in the positioning of the film, in some beats of the character. I also felt like I over melodramatized the last act.
But that was that period, right?
Yeah, but I still feel like it's a film that can be made again.
You're directing Dharmendra in a new movie.
Yes.
And what's your favorite Dharmendra film that's not Sholay?
God, there are so many, but Chupke Chupke would really be right on top.
Right?
I mean, right on top. I mean, I'm obsessed with that film.
Yeah.
Like, that film is like sunshine. It can make you happy and any mood you may be at. Chupke Chupke is literally that silent burst of happiness.
I'd go with Mera Gaon Mera Desh.
Also solid.
Yeah.
Also, see, as I said, Dharamji's been part of
So
iconic, legendary movies. I also enjoyed Blackmail.
Pal Pal Dil Ke Paas.
Yeah. Oh.
That's
Completely.
balm for the soul.
Yeah. And of course, I loved it whenever he went masala mainstream on us as well. Like, I loved him. Such a handsome man. Still so gorgeous. I mean, faces the camera with such aplomb and is so worried about his close-up, which I think is just beautifully endearing. He's 86 years old and I think that's the kind of passion he has for what he does, that he wants to be on top of his game, look his best even now, and I think there's that joie de vivre that makes him so special.
You've directed from that generation, Amitabh Bachchan,
Yes.
now Dharmendra. Let's assume Rajesh Khanna was still around. What would you have him do and what kind of role would you have him play?
He was I think the origin of swag, if I have to say. When everybody is now, uses the word swag associated with many of Salman, they call it, then rappers like Badshah have swag. But I think he was the original OG swag master. I mean, he really brought in the swag before anybody else. It's the way he sang a song. I would say that everybody gave him a lot of high intense emotional roles because he was like a dramatic actor, so to say. He did high octave emotions, but I was I'd like to give him that swag back again. If he was with us today, I would give him a role that had him to be stylish, flamboyant, all the things that he actually did in his movies in the late 60s and 70s. The way he sang a song and the way he was like a cool guy. I think that coolness needs to be replicated because in the latter half of his career, there was always whether it was films like Dard or Avatar and
Sautan
any of these movies,
and
Sautan,
yeah.
it was always the slightly, Sautan was still kind of risque in its own way. I feel like he never did that stylish swag wala hero, and I would like to do that with him.
One always sees you as this cheerful, exuberant person. Are there times that you shout and scream?
No, there are times you're sad. It's like the classic Kaifi Azmi line ke tum itna jo muskura rahe ho, kya gam hai?
Chupa rahe
Jo
ho.
chupa rahe ho. So I feel like behind every very outward, extroverted, people-pleasing personality, there lies a dark, grey, sad, quiet, anxious-ridden part. And I feel that about me. I'm like the Gemini that I am. I can actually position myself any which way I want to. Mostly I'm trying to be the person that, I'm expected to be. Shouting and screaming is not part of my DNA really. I don't lose my temper very often.
Even on sets?
Very rarely. There'll be an incident on every film and a film takes 100 days. So losing a temper once in a film that goes on for 100 days doesn't account for having a temper. I feel it gets me very wound up. When I lose my temper, it also comes with guilt, even though I might be right. And then I don't want to go through those gamut of emotions. Better not to lose your temper.
Yeah. Your first three films began with the letter K, and then you had My Name is Khan. Why wasn't it Khan is my name? You could have just continued the...
Because Kal and Kurban happened. So I realized that the K may have lost its sheen, or rather the K turned its back on me. So I was like, okay, if you're going to be like this about me, then I'm going to drop you too.
Who is your favorite all-time Hindi film director that is not Yash Chopra? I know you're going to say that. So,
Oh, that's a tough one. Can I say two? Rajamouli
Hindi film director.
Oh, you said Hindi film.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought all India.
All India. Okay, yes, it is all India, but yeah, sure.
Paddy,
Yeah.
we've got to go pan India
Pan,
now.
yeah,
We can't have our answers limited to. But
Yeah,
if you're
yeah.
going to be specific, Hindi film all time,
Right.
Raj Kapoor, yesteryear filmmaker Raj Kapoor would be definitely out there. And I would say in contemporary filmmaker, somebody I love is Zoya Akhtar.
Zoya Akhtar, yeah. If somebody came to you and said, I want to be a director, what would you tell them?
I would be like, that's great, but do you have a story to tell? And have you seen enough movies from every language? Because I find directors who want to be filmmakers have just seen one kind of cinema. While I think it's not a prerequisite that you are an avid viewer to be like, I don't have to do something 3,000 times for me to do it well once.
Right.
But I feel if you're not watching cinema, you're not watched the great masters, the great storytellers across the nation and world, how can you just say, I want to be a director? You know, what is your knowledge? What have you learned? I'm not saying you go to a film school. I'm not saying anything. You could teach yourself.
Yeah.
I meet talent every day. I judge a talent show where people have self-taught themselves dance, all kinds of acrobatics. Self-teaching is also a big phenomena today. You can teach yourself anything you want to if you're passionate about it. But at least you have to watch the great masters. If you're not being able to acknowledge the brilliance of millions of others, how are you going to get there? And with what right have you said that? Oh, I'm not in my head, I don't have star personality or look, so I'll be a director. That cannot be the reason why you're a director. It cannot be your plan B, firstly.
Right.
If you really are a director, you must, say, yes, I watched Almodovar, I watched Rajamouli, I have watched Spielberg, and I have watched Rishikesh Mukherjee, and I watched Nagaraj's work. I watched across the board in India and across the world. I watched everyone's work for me to know that where am I in a school?
Right.
Which part of me falls into which school of cinema? If you don't have that answer, then, so if anybody says, I want to be a director, I would ask them questions like this.
So God comes before you, says that you can have one of two things. One is you can know the secrets of the universe, who built the pyramids, whether there is a God, etc., etc. The other thing is you can have all the designer clothes that you want. Which would you choose? I wanted to have a Karan Johar question in this, so...
It's quite obvious.
The secrets of the pyramids, right?
Not at all.
Okay.
I don't want to know. I'm happy with the conjecture. I don't want to know if there's a God or no God. I'm happy with the oblivion. I don't want to know the powers of the secrets of the universe. What's it going to give me? But if you're going to give me great clothes, I'm going to wear them.
Good.
I'm not going to wear that information. At least I'll wear the couture.
And finally, when are you making your next movie with Shah Rukh Khan?
Shah Rukh Khan and I are connected always. Like every time he makes a movie, I feel I'm making it with him. In any case, I feel Pathan is as much my film as much as it is his, because I'm rooting for it probably harder than he is. I'm a fan first, a filmmaker next, and family beyond that. I don't want to give you a date, but I want to give you a feeling. The feeling is so alive to work with him that I hope that his feeling is matching my feeling, and I hope our feelings can collaborate super soon.